Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. Today we are doing an update of a very old prediction that I did. We have a current senator from the state of Vermont versus the incumbent president of the United States, Donald Trump. So basically what I'm thinking here is we're going to go through state by state as usual. At the end of close to the end of the video, it'll be before my prediction is completely finished. Um, I'm going to start trying to do this on close predictions. Um, since there's still only leaning likely toss up and no tilt, um, I'm going to have the crucial six. Um, that's the last six states that I will decide. Um, the crucial six, especially, can go either way. As usual, leaning states could potentially go either way. We are still a long ways away from the 2020 election, but overall, I think that it could be very interesting. But regardless, let's get this started. So let's fill in the safe states. Um, these states were never really in contention. Didn't really have to think that hard about them. Maine's first. Am I missing? Yeah, I'm missing something. Hawaii. New Mexico, I would say, is also safe at this point. Now let's go over to Donald Trump. Utah, I would think, is safe. They're not going to vote Democrat, especially a progressive Democrat. Maybe if Evan McMullin runs again or something. But besides that, there's not really a chance for Bernie. I would say all these states. Skip Georgia. We'll put Indiana and Missouri. West Virginia as well. Alaska, I think. And that's about it. Right now with the safe states, Bernie Sanders is up. So let's go into the map options. And taking a look at this, I will do a House reactions video relatively soon. As soon as they call California 21 for either side. Well, let's take a look here. Likely GOP. We have the state of Georgia. Brian Kemp isn't exactly helping Donald Trump down there, but Brian Kemp did pull it out, so I think Trump will pull it out. Nebraska, too, I think no real surprise here. Presidential elections, they vote Republican pretty solidly. I think it's only went for the Democrat once, and I believe that was Obama in 2008, if I'm not mistaken. Now let's go on over to the likely Democratic states. First off, we have Maine at large. This is mostly down to District 1 being such a bigger district than District 2. If they were exactly even, I could get closer, but District 1 is a lot bigger than District 2. Nevada also. Nevada, if you take a look at the Senate and governor's elections this year, it went solidly. It went pretty well for the Democrats in the state of Nevada. Originally, it was predicted that they might not do as well in Nevada as other people have thought. However, they did do pretty well, and I expect them to continue to do well in the state of Nevada. Now let's take a look at some closer states, but not the crucial six. These are leaning. We have Maine, 2nd District. I know the Democrat just won the congressional race for Maine 2nd, but I believe that Trump can still capitalize on those voters up there, as he did in 2016. Ohio, I feel much more comfortable about awarding to the GOP than Iowa, but I still believe they will both vote together Republican once again. The state of Texas. Texas is shifting. However, I don't know if it'll be shifted enough. Maybe in the Senate race for the Democrats. That, in my mind, is their best chance to flip Texas before 2024. I don't think on a presidential level they will, but I think 2024, when Ted Cruz's seat is up again, I would be worried for Ted Cruz. Also, we have the state of North Carolina. North Carolina went for the president in 2016, and as of right now, not that much has changed in North Carolina. There are definitely states that have changed, but North Carolina isn't really one of them. Now let's take a look at the closer Democratic states, but still not the crucial 6. First, we have the state of Colorado. Colorado has a pretty good Latino population. Latinos usually vote more Democratic than not. Also, with statewide marijuana legalization and all that fun stuff. I do believe they will stick with their Democratic roots. Them in New Mexico usually vote Democratic. Now let's take a look over here. State of New Hampshire. Hillary Clinton was not by far probably not the strongest candidate the Democrats could have nominated in 2016. I honestly think if Bernie Sanders was nominated, he would have won New Hampshire by a bigger margin than 2,000 votes. I think if this was the case, Trump would be not doing well at all in the state of New Hampshire. And lastly, we have the state of Virginia. I'm actually going to put in the likely Democratic column. This isn't really a toss-up state anymore. The DC suburbs are growing in the northern part of Virginia, and if you take a look at the congressional races in Virginia, they're much more Democratic now. Especially the Virginia Senate race. They called it for Tim Kaine like immediately. If it was a swing state, they wouldn't have done that. Now let's take a look at the leaning. Now we're at the crucial 6. We have Florida, the Rust Belt, Minnesota's kind of the Rust Belt, and the state of Arizona. All of these states except Minnesota went for Trump in 2016. I took a look at his approval ratings by state. That helped me decide some of this. Other factors played into this as well. So first, probably the easiest one to call, one of the easier ones to call, was the state of Minnesota. It's went Democratic for a long, long time. If they nominate a good Democratic nominee, I believe it will stay Democratic. Their influence in Minnesota is dwindling, but they could still capitalize on those Democratic voters. Even though Trump did fairly well, I think he lost by a couple points to Hillary. Bernie Sanders, I think, could do better than Hillary in that category. And also, I do believe that we have hit the Hillary Clinton margin in 2016. Now let's go on over to probably the other easiest state to pick, and that is the state of Florida. Exit polls showed that Donald Trump was a +3 approval rating in the state of Florida. A lot of presidents don't have that. And the weird thing is, Hispanics in Florida vote Republican more than anything else. Which is surprising to me in a way, because usually Latinos vote for the Democratic Party more than anything. But overall, I do think that Florida would stick with President Trump again. Now we have the Rust Belt in Arizona. Let's start with Arizona. Arizona, higher Latino population. The Senate race flipped. I do think that as of right now, the Arizona would flip out of the Republican column, and the Southwest is not looking good for Trump, even against a candidate that isn't really super Latino voters. If they put up Beto O'Rourke, this could, maybe even Texas could flip. But Sanders can't even capitalize that much on Latino voters. However, I do believe that Arizona would turn away from the president. Now let's take a look at, we'll put Michigan in the president's column. I know that as of right now, Michigan has the lowest approval rating of the president for any of the 3 Rust Belt states. However, let's take a quick look down history, shall we? Let's go to Michigan. IGAN. 2016. Let's see what we got here. In Michigan, in 2016. It's off the screen here, but here it is. Okay, this is acting. Alright. Okay, so here we have it. You can see the suburban areas that are usually Democratic in most other states are Republican. So okay, maybe it's always been like this. Let's go to 2008 first. 2008, that's a lot more blue. That's not by the biggest margins ever, but that's a lot of blue. Now let's go over to 2012. Obama didn't do as well. You see those counties starting to turn red. Michigan is one of the only states I know with suburban regions that are very Republican. And ultimately, that could help the president keep the state of Michigan in his column. Now we have the state of Wisconsin. Wisconsin, I believe, would flip, as you see with Scott Walker's race. They're turning away from the president, and I believe that trend would continue. Now, the final state to call is my state of Pennsylvania. Now, Pennsylvania in the statewide races was swept by Democrats. However, if you look how Trump did in 2016, he won very, very narrowly. I do believe that with a more progressive candidate, Pennsylvania would stay in President Trump's column by a very narrow margin. And that means we have Trump getting reelected by a lesser margin than he was first elected by, the second president ever for that to happen to. The other one was Obama. We have Bernie Sanders getting 253, more than Clinton, but still not a magic number. So thanks for watching this video. Comment down below what you think. Tell me about any changes or future videos. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Also join us on the subreddit, JPC Reddit. And always, thanks for watching. And I'll see you soon.